December, I was 29 and in college, and I had this, shut the fuck up, dude. It's okay. I understand, it's a comedy show, you can laugh, no big deal. I was 29 in college, and I had an exam that was 24 hours away, and I had to pass this exam because I was 29 in college, right? So I go to Starbucks, it usually keeps me awake for an hour, and I'm like, hey barista, how many espresso shots in that latte? He's like, there's one. I'm like, well, I need 24 in my latte. He said, well, I need to raise on the minimum wage. So I gave him $10 and he gave me my supercharged latte, and I was up for a solid 20 minutes because I fainted. And some of y'all might be thinking, why didn't you just have one latte an hour? And if I thought of that shit, I wouldn't be 29 in college. Why don't you keep your thoughts to yourself? Criticizing me with your fucking associate's degree. So now I'm 30 in college. Yeah. One of my friends suggested, hey, you should get a tutor, man, just to keep you on top of things and help you out where you need help. And so I go on this website, and there's this cute chick who's a tutor. I'm reading her profile. She's like, I'm very warm, and I give everybody one-on-one attention. And I'm like, okay. She's like, if you need help with history, I can tutor you. I was failing finance, but I kind of liked her. So you never know, she could be the one that I have a fling with that semester. So I hit her up, and we met on Wednesday. At the end of it, she was like, okay, I'll see you next week. And I'm like, we can keep hanging out. Just saying, if you like, just want to keep hanging out. She's like, well, I'm going to church, so if you want to hang out, you have to come to church. So, okay, I end up at church, a Muslim guy at church. And there's this small group service, and it gets to me, and the pastor's like, what brings you here today? So I want to be respectful. It's the house of God, right? I want to be honest. So I'm just here to get laid, Mr. Pastor. Women appreciate honesty. Well, pastors don't, because he asked me to leave and blessed my soul on the way out and whatnot. And I didn't get that tutoring again for my history class I was pretending to be in. So 29 is like a non-traditional student, right? Or you can call it a returning student. It's kind of funny for me whether or not I'm a returning student, because I was actually used to be a professional poker player, but I did it in a funny way. I told my parents I was in college, and they sent me money for tuition, which I lost playing professional poker, right? That's how I supported myself for 4 years. And then they found out, they were not happy. And I was raised Muslim, but I also like to drink and gamble. And my parents were like, you can't be Muslim and drink and gamble. So out of respect for my parents, I stopped being Muslim. And now I just drink and gamble. My dad's like, son, you have a gambling problem. And I'm like, I only gamble when I'm stressed out about my financial problems. So it's not like I go overboard with it and gamble when I think about my drinking problems. I drink when I think about my drinking problems. Anyhow. So, my mom's Pakistani, and she wants me to inherit the culture. So she's like, eat Pakistani food, wear Pakistani clothes, marry a Pakistani woman. And I'm like, Mom, Pakistan's so great. Why did you go? Why did you leave? And she was like, it was so bad there, you couldn't work, there's no work there. And I was like, so that part you don't need to be Pakistani, the gainful employment, that's where we draw the line, right? Because I'm not doing that part. Why don't we start with that, And some of y'all might be wondering, why isn't there work in Pakistan? Don't they have all that tech support money? That's India, don't get the two confused. We're going to have problems we don't need. For example, you're going to be at an Indian restaurant, and you're going to be like, hey, waiter, why is my chutney not like the chutney from the restaurant across the street? The waiter's going to be like, that's because that's a Pakistani restaurant. This is Indian. Yes, we look the same, we wear the same clothes, we eat the same food, but we're different! then that waiter is going to be not polite. We're going to have a diminished restaurant experience in Houston, which is a problem we don't need. The fattest city, the fattest state, the fattest country on a really big planet. Man, Pakistan is so poor that India calls Pakistan for cheap tech support. Do you understand? There's a conversation in India right now that's like, man, I called tech support, and who do they think they're fooling? I can hear your accent, man. Your name's not Rajesh. Don't tell me your name's Rajesh. I can tell you're Pakistani. Your name's probably Amir or some funny Pakistani name. It's a daily conversation on like Twitter.India. What else? Enough about Pakistani people. Let's get off the race stuff. I was out with some Japanese friends of mine, and they get into it with this guy, and out of nowhere he goes, "Hey, I can barely understand you. I don't speak that Korean crap shit." And we were very offended, and I felt I had to stand up for my friends in this moment, but all I could think of was, "Hey, we are not Korean! We are Japanese!" And the next part is 100% true. His head burst open and his brains go everywhere. And my friend goes, "Dude, you just made his head explode." And I was really hurt because I just defended you against racism and you're being insensitive, implying I made something explode. But I didn't say anything to him. I just went home and processed my hurt in a very Pakistani way and ate a bunch of pork. Alright guys, my name's Amir Mohammed, thank you.